Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright. Is it time to go home yet? Please stand by. Making sure the stupid thing didn't freeze up. Okay. All right, let's see what happens here. A little bit of a lag. Okay. Hello, Crystal. Hello, Tom, and hello, Chloe. Um, Thank you for joining me so soon. Uh, we'll let a few stragglers come in, and then if enough people get in here, probably I don't know, another 4 or 5 more. We'll start this thing and go from there. Stay tuned. Hello, Denise. Yeah, I saw her text message, Chloe. Doesn't she realize I'm in the middle of a live stream? Oh, gracious alive. All right, we'll give it, I don't know, 5 or 6 more minutes and see if anybody else shows up. And if they do, we'll go ahead and proceed with the live stream. But if I don't get many more people in here, I may just cancel the live stream and do the video and post it later. So y'all call them friends, tell them to join in, and we'll get this thing kicked off. Come on now. Play you some uncopyrighted music for a few minutes. I've seen 100 grand in cash. I've took the trip to hell and back. I've been around, never saw nothing like you. And I've seen lights up in the sky, and I've seen ghosts alone at night. I've seen some things, but they were nothing like. Till I walk through walls. Till I walk through walls.
can't wait to have been dancing in the rain. I've seen butterflies and babies crying still into this day. Ain't seen nothing that's quite like you. Till I'm a ghost, stuck in all my life to you. And when I'm a ghost, I will always be you. I've seen the country far and wide. I meet my heroes all the time. I've been around, never saw nothing like you. And I've held diamonds in my hands. I've got a couple million fans. I met some folks, but they were nothing like till I walked through walls. Till I walk through walls. I wanna be with you, 'cause I'm me with you. I've seen things I swear to God that I still can't believe. I've seen shooting stars and crystal balls and magic in the breeze. I've seen Paris, I've seen London, I have been weak in the knees. Ain't seen nothing that's quite like you. Till I'm a ghost, stuck in all my life to you. And when I'm a ghost, I will always be you. Till it burns down, till the world ends, till it's all gone, till my last breath, till I leave town, till there's nothing left, till I'm in the ground, till I'm a ghost. I'll give all my life to you. And when I'm a ghost, I will always be you. Till I'm a ghost, stuck in all my life to you. And when I'm a ghost, I will always be you.
That song was from Tom McDonald, and it is named Ghost, appropriately. If I understand it correctly, he is singing about his girlfriend, Nova Rockefeller. And, I mean, if you follow the words, you can kind of understand what he's talking about. But I just figure, give you a little bit of light music. Go ahead and that way it's not just silence sitting here waiting. It's actually starting to rain. All right, so let's see. Four in here now. Get back in here. Check on things. Awesome sauce. All right, we got one thumbs up. Cool. So, anybody want to go ahead and get this thing started, or y'all want to go ahead and call it and we just watch the video later? Let me know, and we'll go from here. We've been here 15 minutes already, so. Tom wants me to go ahead and talk. Okay. What about the rest of y'all? Crystal says, "Get this thing over with." I want to watch something else. Yeah. Oh, I've been sitting in that chair too long. Let's see. My legs holding this bit. Careful. Welcome to the party. Some of y'all know me as Quentin. Some of y'all know me as Andy. Some of y'all know me as the Poo Guru. Some of y'all know me as the Mad Scientist, or some of y'all don't even know me yet. Maybe. Um, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure how many people are going to join on the live stream. I'd say most everybody's going to watch it afterwards if they do watch it at all, but that's fine. Um, let me check my notes here. Just to kind of give everybody a rough update. Me and Crystal, we're doing well. Um, ups and downs, just like anything else. So, um, kind of in a holding pattern right now, as far as that goes. I'm sick of winter, ready for spring to get here, so I can start doing stuff in the garden. Um, but in the meantime, I'm going to be working on mad science projects and helping out neighbors as best I can with whatever skills I've got. So, uh, just want to go ahead and give a disclaimer. As far as I know, this is an original idea, and truth be told, I don't care who builds it, but if you build it and you start making money off of it, then at minimum, I get 5% of all profits. All profits. There ain't gonna be no gray areas in here. I mean, this is, you either gonna run this by the books and we're gonna do this, or else you ain't gonna do it at all. Uh, Please, let's go into this with an open mind. Um, this is this is beyond probably what our technology is capable of at right now, but we get enough smart people together thinking about it, I'm pretty sure we can put this thing together pretty quick and make it run. Um, I want to start with Chernobyl, and um, it was pretty tragic. I've done a little. They were doing some testing, and it was supposed to be done during the day shift. Something happened, and they needed to run full power during the day, and they couldn't test it properly. So they sent they delayed the test until night shift with an inexperienced crew and pig-headed bosses, from what I gathered. Um, so overnight they had the meltdown, uh, crap hit the fan, and here we are now, learning from Chernobyl. One thing that we have learned is how to build a sarcophagus to go over it to contain it. And when I saw this, my idea made sense. What I've been thinking about involves volcanoes, and um, if we can build a structure to contain that level of radiation coming out of that, because if I understand it right, that's exactly what it is. It's a containment unit, and they're going to start dismantling the plant and decontaminating the area. But in the meantime, that containment unit is going to keep the radiation from um, leaking out and back into the atmosphere like it was doing. Even with the safety measures and the sand and the concrete and everything else that they built around it shortly after the meltdown, basically. That being said, though, nuclear power is dangerous. It's starting to rain a little heavy here, so if my voice gets overpowered by the rain, somebody let me know. As if in response. Y'all let me know about that, and I'll see what I can do. But anyway, volcanoes and nuclear plants are similar in a couple of different ways. Both of them radiate energy. One is thermal radiation, and the other one is a mixture of alpha, beta, and gamma waves that typically heat up water to kind of do the same thing that, molten lava would do. Slightly different film. But in volcanoes, there is untapped energy there that I don't think we quite understand how to harness yet. But kind of like how this beam keeps the heat trapped on my head, what if we could build something big enough to go over a shield type volcano with the real slanted slope on it, real easy, not pitched up, not the cinder cone type, or strato, I think is what they call those. What if we could put a dome over the top of a volcano and capture all of that heat? It's a curious thing. I'm going to need your thoughts. So I'm going to let y'all look at this for a minute. Hang on, I'll make sure I've got it in focus and stuff. And then I'll start coming up here trying to explain things. But, okay. Let me tilt the camera just a little bit. I'm gonna have to move, ain't I? Huh. I've been busy apparently. That is approximately 4 by 8 feet. That chalkboard right there with all my scribbles on it. So I chose shield volcanoes because of a couple reasons. The main one is they are not necessarily always as explosive as stratovolcanoes, and the lava is a lot more fluid, so it can be redirected and um, something to that degree a little bit easier than the felsic, I think is the word, the felsic magma that comes out of the stratovolcanoes. Um, so there's a dozen or so shield volcanoes that are currently active in the world today. Um, and I don't know what sizes we're talking about, but uh, you know, the one in Hawaii. You don't ask me to pronounce those names of the things, but there's one in like the Hawaiian Islands. Actually, there's several in the Hawaiian Islands that are shield volcanoes, but those are uh, a type that can be um, used and referenced because most people are familiar with Hawaii as part of the United States and everything, and they know that they got active volcanoes, and I mean it's a giant tourist attraction type thing. So, but basically, what I'm proposing are domes that would go over the volcanoes. In I mean, obviously, people would do research, and we would figure out, where the best place to put it, how big to make the dome. I mean, each one would be custom, and basically just cut the dome into slices, put tracks on the bottom of them, and cranes to kind of make them adjustable and whatnot. And then when you get everything into place, you have pins coming out of one side going into the holes of the other side of one that they screw together. They're threaded pins and holes, and once you get all of the pieces locked together, it's going to make like a turtle shell. It's going to make that thing just about indestructible to a degree. Um, so uh, we could put like a mirror coating on it of some sort, to kind of keep the heat reflected back in. We would initially build pass-throughs for piping and electrical and whatever other necessary components would be for like a, a steam-driven turbine. Given that example, you would run like a basic radiator type system over the crater of the volcano or something, and you'd heat up the water. But that's the thing, is that it's an energy source right there that we don't have to use. I mean, we don't have to buy fuel for. There's already an energy source there. you've got the heat from the magma coming up out of there, which is 1800 to 2200 degrees Fahrenheit, and you know stainless steel melts at around 2500 to 2700 degrees Fahrenheit. Um, Little pointy thing, but I don't know if you can see anything like that. Uh, there's all kind of different gases that come out of the volcanoes. Um, Ashes. It's going to have different minerals and rock. I'm not a geologist, so I don't know what kind of words to describe those are. You know, um, the lava, depending on what the lava's composed of, that could be harvested and reused as all kinds of different things. With thermal energy, we can do steam-driven turbines. We could use it kind of like a forge at a steel mill, and make stuff, or we could use it like at a recycling place to recycle stuff. Depending on what the needs are. I mean, why burn all of these extra fossil fuels if we don't have to? I mean, look, the core and the magma and all of that, it's already there for us. It's not going away anytime soon. Um, I figure some kind of smoke scrubbers for the gases, filters. Um, I don't know exactly how you separate gases. Maybe using temperatures or different mediums to capture them and distribute them back out pure, so to speak. Um, but different kinds of hydrogen, different kinds of carbon, lots of oxides and ides and this ide and that ide. I was thinking maybe precious metals and rare minerals too, but I don't know that is going to be what we would get a lot of. It's probably just going to be a lot of rocks and basalt and probably pumice. Uh, Maybe some magnesium and iron that we could use out of it or something, but I think most of it is just going to be, I don't know, it's going to be somebody else smarter than me to be able to figure that one out. What else? I mean, this would create more jobs than we knew what to do with, honestly, because you're going to need people to figure out how to build this thing. I mean, obviously, there's not a blueprint up here of it right now, but I mean, like I said, each one would be a custom fit to each volcano. Um, and, I mean, over the span of 20 years, this thing would create so many jobs that it would be ridiculous. And people might be worried about the return on investment, but just think about this to begin with. You don't have to buy any fuel, period, to start with. The fuel's already there. The You just have to build a little bit of infrastructure, you know, with the dome, and you can take advantage of what's already there. Um, we'd be able to produce electricity probably a ridiculous amount of electricity because I I don't know. I mean, how many turbine generators could you run off of one volcano? I mean, I don't know the math on that. I mean, it depends on the volcano too. You might get one operating half a city. That'd be cool. But then again, if you get a bigger volcano, you might be able to run multiple turbines off of it at once and supply, larger cities or multiple cities or even a small country if you ain't careful. I don't know. I mean, messing with stuff here. I'm still. A lot of people's going to cry, climate, climate, climate. You're changing the climate. Yeah, yeah, we're going to break stuff. We are going to change the climate with this. And truth be told, I'm not opposed to that. Um, we need to learn about the weather a lot more closely, and we need to start paying attention to what we are doing to the earth and figure out what it's going to eventually do so that we can take measures to prevent it. I'm not saying we should completely cap it off and not let anything go into the atmosphere, because then that just ruins um, cycles for like plants and stuff, because they need certain gases and they need certain types of minerals and stuff that come out of the volcanoes. That's kind of how it works in nature, because that's how it developed. Um, I mean, if we're able to take advantage of it, we could eliminate what we're doing with pollution by being able to basically recycle everything and use it to probably 99% efficiency, and not have to take any more extra resources to transform one material into another, Um, just building this would bring us one step closer to becoming a top one civilization. Um, and if you don't know what a top one civilization is, uh, look it up. It's fascinating. It's the Kardashev scale, and some people have elaborated on it over the years, but basically it is a a scale used to measure a civilization's technology and their ability to harness energy around them, whether it be from their planet or their solar system or their galaxy or multiple galaxies. Or, I mean, so far we've been able to harness fire. We've been able to harness a little bit of water with hydroelectric. We could harness a little bit of solar with solar panels. We can harness a little bit of wind with wind generating wind turbines and stuff like that. We've got the atom. That was a big step for us. I mean, we've got steam. Steam is a combination of fire and water. So it produces a new thing, which not necessarily a new element, but just a new form of water that we can use to make electricity. So we've got electricity. We know about um, electromagnetics, gravity, a little bit about gravity, and people are still up in the air on that one. But I mean, civilization as a whole, humans on this earth as a whole, are about 70, maybe on a good day, 75% on the way to a top one civilization. And it's time for us to step up a little bit and challenge ourselves again, like we did in the Industrial Revolution and in the Nuclear Revolution. Um, let's start trying to harness the powers of the earth, man. We've all we've got to do is just cap it off, and then we got to figure out, what do we do with the thermal energy? What do we do, with the lava? What do we do with the gases? We've got AI now. AI can run simulations and scenarios and look up more information faster than anything we've known. The Chat GPT-5 is like stupid fast. I don't even know how to describe it. I've not used it myself, but in a positive and productive manner, I feel like that AI would be able to help us figure out calculations and figure out measurements and run scenarios. What would happen if this happened? What would happen if that happened? You know, um, and see if this is even feasible. I don't understand why it wouldn't be. So that's why I want to present it out to the general public, because if you guys can help me figure out how to make this work, I don't see how this would be bad for humanity. Um, in a nutshell, uh, put the dome over the top of the volcano, and then we would try to use natural vents if we could, or we would drill our own vent with a disposable drill down in and try to keep the pressure from blowing the top off, basically, is what it is. So, I mean, if we have to dig 12, 15 vents out of that thing to keep the pressure proper, and I ain't talking about completely sealing up the dome either, but if, definitely going to need to employ a bunch of volcanologists to help us out with this one. um, we keep the pressure at a level that we can maintain as best we can. Uh, you know, I don't see why we can't do it. Um, y'all let me know what's missing. What am I missing? Okay, Crystal said I need to zoom in and explain everything. So, oh, hang on, let me take this thing out of the. Hold it here. All right. So this is like the volcano crater right here. This would be your shield volcano, and this is basically the magma flow that it is following through the crust. And this is a vent right here, and this is going to be a man-made vent that we just drill down through the crust into the chamber here to kind of, you know, release the pressure a little bit. But I mean, Elon Musk has got the Boring Company, so I bet you he'd be interested in some of this. Um, so if we have like fissure type volcanoes, we could make an elongated structure, kind of like a. That one kind of looks like a football stadium, if you ask me. And I mean, we've built football stadiums. We've built the Chernobyl sarcophagus, is what they call that thing. We've built mega structures like these before. This is just a touch bigger, and I mean, like, stupid hazardous, but we've learned so much from others' mistakes that we should be able to implement enough precautions and enough safety measures and enough redundant systems to make this work with as I mean I don't need property damage. I'm not worried about. I don't see us needing to have a lot of manpower to run one of these things when it's up and going. So I mean, yeah. Um, so yeah, if we take modified crawlers that used to move the rockets and they ain't going to be used anymore, why don't we repurpose those to move these things? You know, I mean, it'd be all one piece, and instead of junking them, or I mean, you give us I guess, um, yeah, these are like the dome slices here. This would be your volcano, and everybody's coming up. Everybody's communicating, everybody's doing their thing, and you've got these pins and these holes that are going to line up. And once everybody gets in place, everybody just screws in their pins, and everybody locks in tight. And then you start putting your equipment inside and outside the dome, or if you want to, you can put the equipment inside the dome first, and then have some kind of crane system inside to move everything around. Or I mean, there's a million different ways to do it. Um, and then another thing, one thing I do want to do is mostly autonomous equipment and machinery inside the dome. This is going to be the absolute most hazardous area of it, and I get it. That's why I was saying I don't want to put humans in there if we can absolutely possibly avoid it. Sorry, I'm jerky with the thing there. I mean, look at the Atlas robots. What can they do? Right? I mean, these cats are jumping around like, they're breakdancing and stuff. So, all right, guys, let's do it. Let's get some robots in there that can manhandle this stuff, that can withstand these temperatures, that can, uh, you know, are expendable, if that makes sense. And then once we get everything up and going, how do we transmit the electricity that we're being generated? How do we transmit the resources that come from this thing? The gases, the rocks, the all of that stuff. Has anybody ever tried putting a Tesla tower inside of a Faraday cage? I have not. I'm a plumber by trade, so I have no idea if that would be doable, or if it just ground itself out and we wouldn't be able to, do anything with it. I don't know. It just seems like. Anyway, it just seems like we should be able to do something along the lines of that one. So. So the biggest question is, what can we capture and use from the volcano? I don't know. No idea. But we'll never know until we try. So, if nothing else, we'll get knowledge and we'll get data. You know, maybe we try something different next time. I don't know. So, another question we have to ask ourselves, can we use the cap to reduce the destruction from eruptions? I mean, this is kind of a grim scenario to relate it to, but it's kind of like the dude jumping on a grenade for his buddies in the war. He takes the brunt of the impact. So if we've got seismometers and earthquake guys and people that study volcanoes that can just about predict it, because look at Iceland right now. They predicted that thing. They evacuated all those people. Granted, it didn't quite go to plan, but for some of them, like Mount St. Helens, what if we had capped that thing off to begin with to dampen, not necessarily completely contain, but at least to dampen, you know, the destructive power of it. Lives were lost during that one. I wonder if those lives could have been saved. Eh, I don't know. I wasn't very old when that happened, so. Um, what other notes did I make in here? Yes, I've snuck this one in here. How do we get there from here? Well, we asked smart people. You know, this guy, I'm not sure if he's around anymore, but this Maya Tolstoy, she's been doing some research with volcanoes and the timing of the eruptions possibly could be syncing up with the Milankovitch cycles. And Milankovitch cycles, is how much solar energy is the planet getting, because we don't have a perfect circle that we orbit around the sun. It's sometimes elliptical is the word, kind of like oval, or maybe it's not perfect circle. So sometimes we're a little bit closer to the sun, and sometimes we're a little bit further away. So the Earth actually heats up more or cools down more during certain periods of time, and this causes the crust to expand and contract, which is probably part of the reason that we still have tectonic, what's the word I'm looking for? The tectonic plates still do stuff. You know what I'm saying? So the moon also helps with it too. There has been correlation with the moon. Crystal says activity. What? Correlation with the moon and the tides and the squeezing and whatnot of the earth having an effect on when volcanoes erupt the most and where. So, um, else. Oh. So, all right. Y'all go ahead with your questions and let me know what you think. I can give you a million reasons on why it won't work. What I want to know is that one reason right there that it can be done. So, tectonic activity. What you were trying to tell me, Kristen. Okay. Um, I don't know exactly what else to say. I mean, it's a pretty simple design. It's basically a metal cap that you put on there, and you build infrastructure around it. while you're taking advantage of all the, the heat that's coming off of the volcano. Um, Nobody got no questions? Did I put you to sleep? Hello, everybody, wake up. Oh, mercy, mercy, mercy. Thank you for the email, Tom. I will look at it after I am done with the live stream. There's another song by Tom McDonald. It's called Facts. It features Ben Shapiro.
They call me offensive, controversial. So many genders, boys and girls. They can't cancel my message because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Think that I'm racist, yeah, right. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every Caucasian's a bigot, I guess every Muslim's a terrorist. Every liberal is right. I don't want to talk to folks who don't get it. Go woke, go broke, no hope is pathetic. Pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love, you're progressive. But you ain't pro-gun, no one to protect it. Where the American flags at? Remember when people would hang those? They've been taken down, they all been replaced with BLM flags or a rainbow. This ain't rap, this ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns, ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes. I don't care if I offend you. I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream, you can riot in the streets, you defunded the police. Now there's no one to protect you. How do I defend you? I ask myself what would Ben do? Let's just keep it blizzard, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic, don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke, homie, no cap. Look at the graphs, look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You going to prison, I'm on television. Dogs, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people, download this. Let's get a billboard #1. This ain't rap, this ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns, ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes. I don't care if I offend you. I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream. You can riot in the streets. You defunded the police. Now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do. Let's just keep it real, facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man. I'm the man who don't respect you. You mad, you mad, you mad. I guess it's cool to be the victim. Well, I'ma be the man. You sad, you sad, you sad. You just try to get attention. Being triggered's all you have. You mad, you mad, you mad. You blame everybody else for every problem that you can. You sad, you sad, you sad. I will never say I'm sorry, I ain't taking nothing back. I don't care if I offend you. I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream. You can riot in the streets. You defunded the police. Now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do. Let's just keep it real, facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man. I'm the man who don't respect you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've let the live stream go on long enough, so uh, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Y'all send me your questions. Leave them in the comment section. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down. I'm going to start working on my next project, and hopefully I will have another one ready soon that we can all get back together on and talk about. So everybody enjoy your Super Bowl weekend and Valentine's Day next week, and see you on the next stream. Adios. See you.